Listen to me. Never give up on your dream.
Yeah. No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals. Stay focused on you. Focus your view. Succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success. Go hard and go home. Never settle for less. Life is stress, but we gotta deal with it, homie. Send a prayer to the man to put a shield on it. Work hard for what you get. Appreciate what you got. You can always improve. Just don't stop. Going for your dream to achieve in your life.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. We will talk politics, culture, and history, and we have some music today. It's going to be an incredible show. We got Rose Ward, candidate from the 5th Ward of San Bernardino. Welcome, Rose.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And we also got, they used to be Gale and Company back in the day, but back in the day, our first show in 2015. Right. Yeah. Long time. And Gail has consistently contacted me. Come on the show. Last time came on with Mr. Greg Jones. And they performed a little bit after that show at Mill Creek Cattle Company. And wow, we had a good time.
Okay.
Yes. So we went there. I was just explaining I had the Piggly Wiggly, you know, the pulled pork sandwich, but they have great steaks. So they were going to perform a little bit for us today and mention what's going on in 3 future concerts. You brought your good friend with you, Mike. Mike, you're with?
I'm with the Highland Pickers.
He's with the Highland Pickers, so he'll be performing with you that day?
No.
Or no, you just come?
I'm producing.
Oh, you're a producer. You come to hang out. Okay, well, that's
He puts the show together.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I met Mike at the Highland Citrus Festival. Back in the day, actually this year. So that's actually a pretty cool little thing they do every year, and they have old machines that have to do with the citrus harvest, and Sam Manuel's there with their animal prints and bones. And,
awesome.
It's really an awesome thing to take a kid to learn. And then you can always see how Highland uses our great arrowhead to their advantage. Even though you can't see the arrowhead from there, they still use it, and that's so wonderful to me, and I love it.
Does your audience know what a fabulous archaeologist person you are and how knowledgeable you are?
I'm an anthropologist, Well, I did do that back in the day, and I do care a lot about our anthropological history here in the city.
Yeah.
Before we get on any further, I have to mention our sponsors, Celebrities Bar and Grill. Thank you, Celebrities. Max Zaire, he really is working hard to make sure Celebrities keeps going. Right? Awesome. He wants to keep workers working, right? We want to make sure that people have good jobs. And you know what? Bartender can be a good job.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a fun job.
Yeah, and you can make some good money. But Max has been doing his thing, and I appreciate you helping us sponsor this show for about 3 years.
Awesome,
Really,
Max.
Thank you very much, Max. So we love you, dude. We really do. He's been a little hard lately. Money's not flowing around the economy as quickly as it normally does. Right. So that means we need to go to Celebrities on Tuesdays and Saturdays for the $9.99 steak special. $9.99 steak
Tuesdays
special,
and
right?
Saturdays.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Saturdays right there on 40th Street. So, and pretty cheap, and I always get filled up.
Affordable fun.
Yes, and you do have to buy a drink, but like it doesn't.
Why wouldn't I?
I get.
Why wouldn't I?
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah, I usually don't get a drink, but I get a little special, I guess.
They got the
a
mocktails.
little special
They have
love.
mocktails.
Yeah, but because I drink water. I drink water with lemon at every restaurant I go to.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it has to be a very, very unique item on the menu of a drink for me to try it, or it has to be a super special occasion or a mistake. So yeah. Occasionally, God will bless you with a free Sprite or something,
There
right?
you go. There
and
you
I'm
go.
like, well, you know what? All Right, but
Don't mind the diabetes.
Yeah,
I'm just going.
yeah. From the 44-ounce master from the back of the day, yeah, like you gotta get it.
Yeah,
But,
it's either your liver or your
thank
diabetes.
you, Max,
one or the
and
other.
thank you, celebrities. We
Which
do
one
love
do
you very
live the
much.
longest without? You gotta have them.
That's true.
It's so true. All right, we got our I Love San Bernardino standout of the week. This week is Tim Prince, attorney Tim Prince, right here from San Bernardino.
All right.
Oh, well, why did I pick Tim Prince? Well, you know what? He is always in getting involved, right? So I seen Tim on Friday, and we were at the 30-year vision kind of like meeting for San Bernardino Unified School District.
Beautiful.
So they're trying to put together a vision, 5 years, 10 years, in a mission statement, and have this vision look really good. Not too long, not too complicated, not leaving people out or adding those that don't need to be added. You know, because when you're reading a flyer, it has to be concise, quick, and to the point.
Yes.
And I felt like they were getting very close to that. We were the last group to be analyzing this after thousands of kids and students
And parents, I would
yeah,
imagine.
teachers, parents, all put in their input. We did add a little bit, and but they did do a good job already being where it needed to be, I think.
What were some of the things that you shared, Robert?
I shared that I believe that we needed to. So since it was already set up, I couldn't really insert a lot of history and all the stuff I wanted to. But I did mention at one point that it kind of made it look like we were all, the statement made it look like we were already coming from a point of adversity. And growing up in San Bernardino, we always were behind. Like they always told us that we're behind. But like, why? Tell them that. Why not tell them that they're starting out zero? Right? Like, you know, because it's like you're always, you know, your mentality is always going to be like, oh, we got to catch up. Right?
It's like, I hear what you're saying, because if you see that idea, it's like you're working from a deficit kind of mindset. You know what I mean? Where almost what you do is not enough or adequate. Whatever you bring is not adequate. So I understand what you're saying.
And it's easy for someone who's not from San Bernardino to make that mistake, right? Because of course we're dealing with adversity, right? And they see it and they want to acknowledge it, but to someone who's had to acknowledge it and lived it, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It can be, right?
It can be,
Yeah.
and what I know that they're trying to do is seed that resilience that's needed.
Yes.
That if you're alive and blessed with the gift of life, regardless of what your world may look like in that current moment, that if you're willing to render the efforts and have the willingness to be successful, you can overcome all odds, as we've seen with many of people that have done great things from our community.
And that group was very, very, they were like the elite intellectually and business-wise, and I guess I don't know why I was there.
You were the community. You're the voice of the community, man.
Maybe they thought I would throw the history of Bone or something.
There you go.
Yeah. But like I did actually appreciate being there, and I appreciated that they are putting that much effort into trying to look at our kids' future and what direction they should be heading. So
I love the fact that you said our kids, because it's us as a community.
even though I don't have any, right? But like
No,
they're a
but
future, right?
You may not have physical children, but you're a role model to many children. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I
never
appreciate
discount that.
Everyone here as well. And on a different point, Tim Prince, you know, the standout of the week. Why? Well, he showed up to the event. You know, he shows up to city meetings. He gets involved in campaigns. He donates money to candidates. He does the things that are necessary to showcase the candidates that he wants. Now, they tend to be on the liberal side, right? But that's what he supports. He's also
It's his
president
money.
of the Young Democratic Luncheon Club and involved in the Democratic Party, so that makes sense.
True.
So Tim Prince, thank you for all you've done. Like you get, you know, like sometimes I'm on his team and sometimes I'm not.
I could
But
relate
that's how
to that.
politics works, and that's one thing you should always remember, Rose, is that someone who's not on your team this time, guess what might happen next time? They might be on your team, right?
But it's the importance is to never burn bridges and to keep cordial relationships, because you never know if someone could be a benefit or asset at another time. You know what I mean?
Especially with these there's all types of different things that come through the city, and like you'll be one day you'll be talking about homelessness, but the next day you'll be talking about how far a store should be away for selling alcohol or whatever. And there's different people, might have family that runs a liquor store, right? It just depends. And like all of a sudden I find out, well, we're arguing for the same thing here. And last year we were at each other's throats, right? So then I started, oh, wow, I got to stop doing that. I stopped being as hardcore, right?
Yeah, we shouldn't get too emotionally invested.
Because then I made some enemies, and I made some enemies probably that would never even ever read my book. And why should I?
That's their loss. That's their loss.
And my loss too, because I shouldn't have, like I could have made it better.
That's maturity and growth, brother.
No. All right, and I want to thank Tim Prince, and that's brought to us by Ben Chavez with First Lineage Site Services. Thank you, Ben, for everything you do. He's been setting up these for over a year, these San Bernardino Standouts of the Week. And if you'd like to pick somebody next week, Johnny, please send one my way.
Definitely can.
That's awesome.
Robert Porter.
I can't be it.
Why not?
Yeah.
All right. And now I do have the history tidbit is going to be quick. I got my history shirt on.
Drum roll.
Black History Month right now.
Hey
I
now.
got Dr. Martin Luther King on.
Hey now.
Good man. We marched in the Martin Luther King History Parade this year. Thank you, Lou Dowdy. You put on a great parade, and the Black Chamber of Commerce. And
at first when you said that, I was going to say, man, you look mighty young for your age, brother, when you said we. You're over there crossing the bridge in Selma back in the day, man. Robert, whatever your secret is, bottle it up and sell it, man.
Well, it's light on the grave. I was not marching in Selma, but it would have been an honor.
About the Civil War.
It would have been an honor. I would have loved to march there.
When me and Abe were...
Well, we were just talking about he's related to John Adams over here, Mr. Mike. So
Awesome.
Way back, yeah.
And John Quincy Adams.
Well, father and son.
Yeah.
So sort of goes that way.
Yeah, but many people probably don't know that. And that's a sad fact. Yes, that's a sad fact.
Believe it or not, many people don't even know who John Adams was.
Or John Quincy Adams.
They might know who Sam Adams is.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Oh, they know that.
They got good beer. Yeah. So let's move on to some politics. Rose, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Rose Ward. I'm running for the 5th Ward, and there's 5 people running. Me, I decided to run with my own money. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I chose to run because I was tired of politics as usual. I'm just a neighbor. I'm one of the constituents who was just tired of seeing our city council arguing, fighting, ignoring the people. Too many times I would see them sitting there on their phones while the people were talking and being ignored. If I'm up there and I'm talking, I want to be respected. We, the neighbors, are the ones paying for our city council to listen to us. I'm paying with my tax dollars for their salaries. And I decided, I can't complain if I'm not going to do something about it. If I complain and I don't do something, then I'm just one of the everybody's. So I decided, I'm going to run. And then I sat there thinking, nah, I'm not going to run. And then I got a call from a customer who said, I need to move some. I work for UPS Airlines. For 33 years, I've been working for UPS. It's a logistics company. And I had a customer who called and said, I need to move some volume, some shipments, and his daughter is a painter. And I had already said, nah, I'm not going to run. Why? I can't do anything. I'm not going to make a difference. And how many times have we sat there and said, San Bernardino, to our friends, to our neighbors, and then they say, San Bernardino. Oh, San Bernardino. And then you have to say, but I live on the good side, right?
Yeah, the west side.
I'm on the north side. I'm by Cal State. You know, it's a good side.
I just tell them, well, I love San Bernardino.
You know, but we shouldn't have to say that. We should not have to
same
say
thing
that.
happened to me with some doctors, and like they knew who I was, and then they realized it after they said it. Then they were like, so yeah, I get that feeling. It's a terrible feeling.
We should not have to say that. Well,
Yeah.
this customer inspired me.
Okay.
Because he said his daughter had 16 paintings. She lived in Germany, and he needed to move that volume over here. I say volume because it's a shipment.
Yeah.
I'm UPS Airlines, so I'm not small package. So if you want to ship something, it's got to be heavy freight. It's going to be in a container. And he said, well, where do you live, Rose? I said, San Bernardino. I waited. He said, wow, San Bernardino. God's gateway to the mountains.
Oh.
That painting right there. Right
yeah.
there. We are God's gateway to the mountains.
Yeah.
I got chills and I said, wait a minute, this man, it lives in San Luis Obispo. And we are God's gateway to the mountains. It inspired me, and I said, wait a minute. God's gateway to the mountains? He's thinking that I didn't get a negative comment, and it inspired me to go right back to what I was thinking. I'm going to run for city council.
Awesome.
That's the first time I've actually heard a positive thing.
A positive.
That's a good reason.
A positive comment, and he said, maybe I will see you. My daughter's paintings need to go to your art festival in San Bernardino. The second positive comment.
Yeah.
16 paintings for our art festival. He said, you are known for your mountains and your art. I said, that's it. I'm going to run. We need to be known for this.
Well, I am San Bernardino's art commissioner here. Thank you very
There you go.
much. Thank you very much.
So I decided
I'm
at that
just
moment,
one of nine.
But
this
you're one
was
of them.
it. I was going to run. I'm a neighbor. I got a person who's moving his volume for his daughter from Germany here. How come everybody else doesn't know that San Bernardino is known for this? Why can't we fix this issue? I'm going to run for city council so I can try and say that at least I tried. At least I did something to make a difference. We can fix this infrastructure so that we have the signs on our freeways that say the gateway to the mountains. Start something, do something, be something different and better so that we are the gateway to the mountains and we look like it. Why can't we be that? He said, I'm looking you up on Google right now. There you are, the gateway to the mountains.
Beautiful.
Well, we should look like it. We should be known for that instead of these nicknames that we have. And it's got to start somewhere. It's got to be with forward and positive thinking. And if I don't try something and do something different and better and with my money so that I'm not bought and paid for by people who are paying for me to be in there as their vote so that I'm not associated or tied to somebody. It's just me and my money. I can do that. And with 33 years of business experience that I have with UPS and accounting and labor and marketing and customer service, I can bring that to the table.
Beautiful.
And I can offer it.
I'm gonna move here tomorrow just to vote for you.
You got one.
And I mean, that's why I decided to do this. And I mean, I may not have, as one certain city council person told me, you don't have experience. You're not a city council person. Well, everybody started out at some point new.
None of them had any. In fact, I've heard some of the biggest players of San Bernardino say, I didn't know what the heck I was doing when I got in office.
You're
Yes.
gonna be new to every
That's something, yeah.
job
That you pick up.
first
That you start.
at one time.
Definitely.
And I'll tell you right now, with UPS, they pick up the phone and they call you and move you to a spot. and you're new your first day, but guess what? You go learn it and you do it and you do it well. And right now, fortunately, I get to work from home and I get to do what I need to do with my laptop and move to my, my table. Wherever I take my laptop, that's my job.
There you go.
And fortunately, I can retire early if I want to. So this would be,
This would be a good job.
Dedicated to.
So we got your vision, all right. I have there is hard questions, but
That's good.
But if
Bring
you could
those questions
to
to
keep
me.
it a shorter answer
Yes.
possible. But what would you do for our unhoused situation, and what direction
Okay.
would you head?
And this is going to be a little bit tough for me because my son was unhoused for a little while. My son had issues mentally, and he was diagnosed bipolar schizophrenic. And for a little while, he was out there, and he was one of our unhoused people. And he would be able to bring me insights. Right now, he's doing extremely well. He has been safe with his family, back with his wife.
What's his name?
My son's name is Kevin Ward.
Okay, I'd like to dedicate this show to Mr. Ward in his hard work and his struggle.
He is doing extremely well, back with his wife, back with his kids, and his boss gave him his job back, back in church, and in recovery.
Awesome.
And
That's the kind of story we need at
Yeah.
San Bernardino.
my son is doing so wonderful and so fantastic, and he can give us great insights to what's going on. So this is what I would do based on what my son said. There are different needs for every single person. We don't know their whole stories. There are men out there with kids
Yes.
who need help because
Yes.
they can't go into the shelters with their children because that's not available. You have families, a woman who doesn't want to leave her husband because she's not going to leave her husband behind. You have families.
You really have. These should be treated as individual
Yes.
cases, each one.
Yes.
Each one
Yeah.
needs to be treated individually. So his idea was, and he told me this, Mom, a lot of them have benefits. You start a savings plan for them so that 80% can be put aside so that they have that for a first month's rent. You take them and you give them training because a lot of them don't have life skills so that when they're back out onto the street, not the street, back into society,
Yes.
they know how to go and get a job. They don't know how to do an interview. Make sure that they know how to go in and interview for a job. And if you could just give them that kind of life skill, so back where you have like the YMCA, where somebody could go in and get a shower, clean clothes,
Yes.
shoes.
Yeah, give them a foundation and let
Yes.
them build the house.
You have so many people who want to help. Why can't they go and help by volunteering their skills to do resume building, job training, and just help them with those skills? He said, don't give money because you give me money, I'm going to go get drugs. Give me a packet with a toothbrush, toothpaste, anything like that, but no money because you give me money, I am not going to spend it on food. I'm going to spend it on drugs.
Oh, well, that's a very good answer. I would suggest you refine that, and you put it down right, because that's a good talking point. I do like that your son.
And he's working on him. That's part of his
Recovery.
recovery steps.
And this is also recovery for you too, because being a parent with a kid on the street is one of the
Yeah,
hardest
exactly.
things they could
because
have.
the other thing
Yeah.
is everybody has their own rock bottom.
Yeah.
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 And that's different for
Each
each
rock,
individual.
each
And
person's
let's,
rock
let's
bottom is
hope
different.
that's hope yeah, you got out of that. Whoa.
Amen.
So we're going to pause it. We're going to. Oh, actually, there was one more negative. I think.
Oh.
Oh
Oh,
man.
it was
It's,
a
this is
very
about.
positive.
This is about.
No, it was a positive.
This is about.
point.
It's about. No, the negative here is Oxbow.
What's that?
The cement
Oxbow.
pile.
That
so,
cement pile.
So what do you? How do you feel about the cement? Are you
I-
going to get rid of it?
I
It's a
believe
power
we should not
cement
have any
that's
crushing and
been
grinding.
thrown in their area.
No crushing, no grinding. It needs to be gotten rid of. It's been there for
haven't
too
gotten rid of
long.
it.
I would ask to see the
I
safety.
guess.
I want to see the MSDS. I want to see that. I want to see, is it toxic? Because how can I have a fire that was like
I would
two-
go a step ahead of that, and I would say the testing needs to be redone
Yes.
for there to be any like
Any movement.
confidence in it all.
Transparency.
Yeah.
How can you tell me that a fire that happened 2 blocks away from me that was just one house is unsafe? Yet
and
a
that-
whole
and- yeah, a
a whole
warehouse.
warehouse is safe to crush and grind. So
Okay. Well, interesting. But if it was safe,
if it was safe, I would ask my constituents for
So-
their
so this-
opinion
so-
on it.
Yeah. So this
It's
is the
not-
deal.
It's
It's
not
the
my
money.
vote, it's their vote.
It's all about the
All
money.
about the
The money to haul it away and grind it and get rid of it is a lot. It's a lot. Right?
And you know, we have,
Yeah.
out between Redlands and Highland, there's that whole area out there. That's what they do.
Yeah. They actually do it everywhere. But if it is toxic, it should be hauled away.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
So if it is
If
toxic,
it's toxic, it needs
I'm
to
like,
be hauled
we
away.
can pay the $3 million to have it hauled out. I
No
can get it,
crushing,
right.
no grinding in
But
a
if it
residential
isn't,
area.
If it is not, then I'm under. I was like, grind that stuff, mitigate it, use the water cannons on it. That's what we did all the time as an archaeologist. I mean, I have helped destroy so many buildings. And some of these were actually, old military installations. And I can imagine just what they probably have on their cement, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were worried about the toxic
But
when
they
you were
were,
doing that.
but they did grind it and put it all in there, and there was no dust, and I never got, and I was all around it because I had to watch them destroy this stuff. I had, proper PPE. I don't have that up there. But, yeah.
First step
Yeah.
is
But
the
if they can
report.
keep all that stuff down. So let's get that report. Now, I have heard from one of your opponents said she requested the report, and she said that the report is sound, but would be willing to see a new one as well. So it seems like that's a consensus. Councilman Reynoso, of course, would love to see that whole thing moved right out of there and with no grinding at all. He's been working on that for 4 years. So you see how hard this, 3 years going on 4. So you see how hard it is to remove that. So I'm just throwing that at you.
Yeah.
There's not a right answer because otherwise that time will be gone already,
A quick question for you. What is your platform that you're running on? Is it community safety? Is it community investment? Or what are the core pillars of your
Community
campaign?
safety, building up the infrastructure, lighting. We have no lighting. Virtually, so many streets are not lit up. And there's also areas that have no drainage. We have no drainage. Fixing the potholes in our streets. Myself, I've gone through just new tires because of potholes.
I can relate. I know. I had rims. So
There's some
low
on
profile
Baseline
tires,
outside of Walgreens right now that,
$150,
I got out and I got my swim trunks on and I'm
You
like,
swim in the potholes, you swim in the
Yeah,
potholes.
it's like building up our infrastructure and bringing new business into our city so that we can have more jobs. We need jobs in our city so that we can encourage. It's not just about today and tomorrow. It's about 5, 10, 15 years from now so that we can encourage our children and grandchildren to stay here so that San Bernardino is where we have our people staying and wanting to stay.
I love that. Well said. And on that, riding on that train of thought, what is your vision? And from just as a resident of San Bernardino, what would be your ideal vision of San Bernardino 15 years from now? What would that look like to you?
To me, San Bernardino would be just a beautiful place to be, where instead of me having to go to a mall in Rialto, I could just shop in San Bernardino. I could go down to where the Carousel Mall is, and that's a beautiful place that I could take my pets, and you have fountains, and it's just a beautiful place where I could go sit and enjoy a drink outside with restaurants
We
and
deserve
businesses
that.
is
We deserve
thriving.
it.
And I could take my golden doodle, my poodle, and sit there and enjoy a beautiful restaurant and a family dinner outside because you can't take the dogs inside. So we're sitting outside and having a drink. And I got my grandkids sitting there, and you got the little train driving around. And you know what? Now it's Christmas time, and Santa's right there.
And you're in the gateway
Well,
to the mountain.
And yes, I'm in the
Alright.
gateway to the mountains.
Where we
Well,
live.
well, thank you so much, Rose Ward.
Sorry.
how would they find more information about
be
you?
able to support
You're
you
going to
as
stay with
well.
us, but we're going to move on to the next segment. But I'd like people to be
They
able to.
can visit me at roseward4sbc.com. That's my email, or that's my Instagram. And X, because it's not Twitter anymore, at
All right.
rose_ward_. And they could email me at rmward2000 at msn.com. I always forget all my email stuff.
Definitely.
I have
I
my
think you
daughter
wrote it
who's
down.
my social media manager.
And definitely, there's mail-in ballot. Go ahead.
That's it. And I would hope
so
you vote for
you
me.
have your mail-in ballot right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you can fill it out for whoever you wish. But
And-
if you want Rose Ward, you better do it right.
I appreciate it, and I thank you for your time. And,
Okay.
you know, I'm just here because I want a better future for all of us.
Definitely.
And I'm your neighbor next door.
Definitely.
And she loves San Bernardino.
I
And
do.
as
I
you
love San
reference-
Bernardino.
Definitely, great job. And this is just a general ask of all those that reside not only in the city of San Bernardino, but throughout this whole nation. No matter who you vote for, we need better participation.
Yes.
Whoever gets the most votes, we must honor who that is, you know. But I want people to participate, regardless of what side of the aisle they may be on. We need more participation because we still do live in a democracy, and it should be the voice of the people that make these decisions. And one of the ways that we can make sure the voice of the people is honored by individuals participating in the democratic process by voting. So I encourage all to vote.
And if I could add a tiny bit to that, in general, if you can say something negative, you can also say something positive, and you can also say nothing at all, right? So you have a choice. And if you want to alienate your family and you want to alienate some of your friends, you could be like how Robert Porter was at last election. And I lost a lot of friends. But so I don't do that anymore. I've chose to withdraw myself from that type of politics because I wasn't really negative against them. I was just negative against the person they loved, right?
Idea.
Yeah, and that's like talking crap about the Raiders in around here, right?
Raider Nation.
They're like win, lose, or tie, Raider Nations till I die, right?
Word up.
Well, that's a couple of the groups that are very prominent right now, and we have to respect that too.
Yeah.
So how I look at it now is I will try to find a little bit in what they offer that you like, and you don't have to follow their team, but at least be able to have a cordial conversation about something that you have in common. Because we do have compromise. We are all Americans
Yes,
here.
indeed,
Yeah, right.
right,
We
right.
we all like food and water and like
Maybe
there's-
a little too much.
Yeah. So if we could just humanize the other side a little bit, even if they don't do it to us, it's
Recognize
okay.
and like you're saying, recognize each other's humanity. This gift of life is a blessing to all of us, and it's a fleeting experience. Why be caught up in hate and divisiveness when we could really actually build and actually come together to create a better future for our collective future, all of us as one, as humanity, as we really are, you know?
And take that
Well said.
that negative literature you guys are getting, take it and just throw it right in the frickin' trash. Do some real studying. Watch I Love San Bernardino. read the Sun in a couple different newspapers.
Yes.
The Black Voice. Go through all of them, right?
Yes.
And get a good understanding what's going on, so you don't have to vote for Rose Ward just because she's got a wonderful, beautiful Rose name, right?
And a beautiful smile as well.
Which would be a good reason to vote for Rose, right? But we rather that she loves that San Bernardino is the gateway to the world, to our mountain,
To the
right?
mountains.
All right. So thank you so much for coming on. Mr. Jones, would you like to take over here for a second?
Why,
Or,
sure.
all right.
Taking over.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
man.
Oh, hold on.
Well, he's got the best radio voice here, man.
Put
I'm
on your
afraid to
hats
take my
there.
job,
oh, my
man.
goodness.
Our job.
Yeah.
You know, like my son Jeremiah likes to say, it's all from a standpoint. You know, that's a standpoint. So from a standpoint of what everyone's talking about here, I feel very happy to be here and happy to hear your platform. Thank you, Robert. I wanted to ask you, though, do you see yourself as a journalist and therefore there's some bumper rails that you feel like you have to avoid? I just wonder, in a person in your position, how does that?
So this is how I look at it.
Go ahead.
My first events, I was, people often did consider me some type of a journalist, right? But I would always eat the food, and they wouldn't. Right? So that kind of sets up the stage.
That's the way we are as musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always eat the food, don't we?
Yeah. I look at it, that's my tax dollars are.
We're just talking about
But a real reporter would not touch it.
We eat the food.
Yeah.
Wiggly,
Yeah,
Oh, we eat
food.
it. We eat all of it. And speaking of food, out at the Mill Creek Cattle Company, there's the best food I've had in the entire area here.
Wiggly.
And Michael from Highland Pickers is teaming up to produce three or four shows?
Three.
Three shows, Throwback Thursdays. I wish I had the dates in front of me, but I know Michael does, so I'll turn it over to him. What do we got?
I'm Michael Haynes with Highland Pickers. When I talk about things that are going on, I always talk about the strings or the threads that make the fabric of my life. And I was threatened with having to learn an instrument at 8.
You said threatened.
Threatened. My mom told me, you're going to learn. I wasn't allowed. My parents were indentured servants. My parents didn't have that choice. They broke out of it. I'm here. I suffered through them. They suffered through them. You're going to learn to play an instrument. Make me, Mom. Tried violin, tried flute, tried piano, violin, then flute in the 5th grade. Did a pretty good job on the flute, impressed the instructor. Ended up teaching in 7th and 8th grade. The other flute members of the band in my elementary school went to high school and learned politics. You're a freshman. You can't be first chair, first flute.
Well, you got a date? You got some dates over there?
Yeah,
I got
Michael,
them
can we
right.
get to the
Yeah,
date?
So throwback Thursdays now.
Witness history.
Throwback Thursdays follow the string of music in my life.
Okay.
Okay, so Throwback Thursdays are a time to go to the Mill Creek Cattle Company, have something to eat. If you want to go cheap, they have very good potato soup. And of course, the meat's fantastic.
I want a steak.
They have plenty of those. Just make sure you order one.
Definitely.
So we chose Thursdays because the Restaurant Association says Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, not such good days.
And what are the 3 Thursdays?
Well, the 3 Thursdays are the 3rd Thursdays in March, April, and May.
March, April, and May.
March, April, and May. They happen to be March 21st, April 18th, and May 16th. On each of those days, we're going to go back in time to the music of a different era. On March 21st, Patsy Cline.
Mm-hmm.
April 18th, Simon and Garfunkel.
Mm-hmm.
Classics.
And the Everly Brothers. That's a split show.
Oh,
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yes, that's right.
yes.
Look at you.
And then Thursday, May 16th, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Now, I will say that at the center of all of these performances is the one and only Gail Dowling. And I've said this before, that she's really just a real groundbreaking person for our Southern California community in terms of being very authentic with music, very authentic with folk music, but of someone who has studied this music. Now, you came to our Ray Charles tribute, and I appreciate you being there. But I tell you, this person's been a mentor for me and her dedication to being authentic.
Well, I have listened to her album
Yeah.
several times. I have to do it again. I haven't done it recently, I admit. But like, I remember that I would just sing along, and it was always good gardening music.
Yeah.
And that's how I judge. good
And that's her
stuff.
approach. So what she does with Patsy Cline is trying to be a tribute. It's trying to be
Definitely.
something that Patsy would appreciate.
And definitely, how could one find out the location of Mill Creek and the time of these performances during our Throwback Thursday? What time did the door open, and how much is the tickets, and where is Mill Creek located for those that want to?
Well, if you're in the San Bernardino County area, and if you've ever been to Big Bear, you probably went up Highway 38, which is Mentone Road, which is Lagonia when you get into Redlands. So it's a major thoroughfare. The tickets for the shows are $25 a piece. If you buy all three shows, you get a $5 discount per show. You ask a bunch of questions
Oh,
there.
that's where I remember him from. He bum rushed me for $10 at the Mill Creek.
At the Ray Charles
Yeah, I
tribute.
barely made it in. He's like,
Show me the money.
give me that money.
What's the show start?
Okay, the doors open at 6.
Now it all coming back to me.
Okay.
You refused.
The doors open at 6.
I gave the money because I wanted to see.
And that gives you time to find your table. The tables will be numbered. From 7 to 9, Gail will be performing with her groups.
Now, since this man was so
I was
So,
just joking. I was just
he
joking.
was so abused.
Yeah.
Can we comp him on these shows? And we're so happy. That should have happened last time. Sorry.
I was more than willing to pay.
No, you
I,
shouldn't have.
but I was caught off guard at second. But I did
you
pay.
too.
Yeah, I did pay. And I enjoyed the Piggly Wiggly, and I enjoy you,
Just
Mike.
buy a sandwich.
And what is the address of the location?
1874 Mentone Boulevard, which is the same as Highway 38, which is the same as Lagonia.
And if I could I give out a phone number?
Please do.
If anyone dials 760-574-8231, just text me and we'll send you the link for tickets. 760-574-8231.
Well said, well said.
Thank you.
Would you like to play something for
I
us?
won't remember that.
Oh,
760-574-8231.
You want to hear
Yeah.
something we're going to do in the show?
yeah. Anything you wish to. You are the master of that instrument there.
She is the master.
This is my favorite guitar. Even though I have my grandmother.
I did learn something important. So turn your guitar around. So that stuff actually is history right there. Those are belt buckle marks,
It
right?
is. And I know what to do now.
Yeah.
You cover up your belt.
Well,
buckle so it
I
doesn't-
watched a very expensive guy who, like, he had all the guitars, and his most important thing was it didn't have belt buckle marks. That was that cool.
Well, you know,
Was he using it if it doesn't?
Yeah. Well,
this
yeah.
guitar has history. I doubt seriously that I'm going to break it with a belt buckle now at this point in time, but you never know.
How old is it?
1929 Robert Johnson Gibson.
Woo! Almost
And
100.
It doesn't say Gibson because I don't know if you ever saw that movie, The Red Violin, where it has history and it gets passed on from family to family. Well, this guitar was like that apparently, and somebody had it whose initials were FP. I don't know, is that what it says? But
It does.
Fred Pinkerton.
so they took off the Gibson emblem there. Anyway, but it's good for rhythm players like me. I'm finger picking rhythm type players. Not so for lead players like our friend Danny Flores, who likes to go way up the neck because he's so good on the guitar. This only has 12 frets. Regular acoustic guitar has 14 frets because this is before the war. Well, it's after World War I, before World War II, right? Do I have my times right? Okay. Anyway, so they were short on steel, so these guitars didn't have a truss rod. And this was the first guitar that they used in the big bands.
Oh, okay.
And no truss rod, so the neck easily warps and, twists without that metal in there. So they couldn't make the neck very long. That's why it's only 12 frets.
It seems like it's so unique. It seems like it's a prized possession, like it has great value outside of just being a wonderful
Yeah,
instrument.
being that old too.
Yeah.
It actually does, but this is your positive attitude and everything is what made me think about this. I love the guitar so much, and I love to play it so much. And my friends who are musicians said, that guitar is very valuable. You shouldn't be taking it out to gigs. You shouldn't be playing it. Just play it at your house or whatever. Well, what's the point of having something that you love
And not
then
be able to share it.
put it in a closet and not be able to share it?
I hear you.
That's
I
right.
hear you. That's the right attitude.
And I really do try to do this. If I don't use something for 6 months, I need to find either use that thing or, it needs someone
let it
else to
slide.
use
Let it
it. Yeah.
Right. It's true. It's true. So anyway.
What are you going to share with us?
Well, we're going to do one of my favorite Patsy Cline songs. Some of her songs most of them are ballads. She did a lot of ballads, and a lot of them are heartbroken, lovesick. Oh, I'm going to kill myself type songs.
Right on the cusp of Valentine's.
She
Day.
was the original Taylor Swift or what?
Yeah. But this is a happy love song that she did. So we're going to do this one in the show. I like to fit it in between the other, pathetic, heartfelt, slit your throat love songs.
Positive song with a positive instrument.
It's called Baby's Arms. And Greg, are you going to join me a little bit and sing with me a little bit on this? Help me out. See, Greg does the intro to this on the piano. Greg's going to play piano in the show.
Awesome.
There's a lot of piano in Patsy Cline's band. Oh, let me just say we're going to have a great band.
I don't know what a kazoo does.
Oh, you just sing into it.
No, you don't.
You make a noise.
You hum into it.
I
You
better
have
not
to,
make
yeah.
my debut on the kazoo right now.
This is your part, Greg. I'm back in baby's arms. How I miss those loving arms. I'm back where I belong. Back in baby's arms. Don't know why we quarreled. We never did before. Since we found out how it hurt, I bet we'll never quarrel anymore. I'm back in baby's arms. How I miss those loving arms. I'm back where I belong. Back in baby's arms. And Greg has a piano solo here, but we have to skip. Thought I didn't need his love till he took it away. Now I'm back where I belong, and in my baby's arms I'm gonna stay. I'm back in baby's arms. How I miss those loving arms. I'm back where I belong. Back in baby's arms. Back in baby's arms. Back in baby's arms.
Yeah! Woo!
Yes, back in baby's arms.
Who needs a piano?
No, we need the
No,
piano.
no, we just need you, that's all.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
it.
you, Mr. Jones, come on. You got the best. He's got the best, like, low voice. Yeah, yeah.
Mr.
Yo.
Jones. Mr. Jones.
Mr. Ray Charles.
Yeah, serious.
Okay.
And he's got a cool jacket.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a very snappy dresser, in case you haven't noticed.
I can see.
Can you tell that?
And has a lovely vehicle as well, all
He does.
terrain.
And-
Great for running over curves.
And by the way, this is Dr. Jones.
Dr. Jones.
He was 4x in the parking lot? Do tell.
Nah, awesome vehicle. My mom loves the Rubicons. I believe it's a Rubicon, I believe.
It is?
Yeah, my mom loves those.
My
and,
husband wants
very
one.
equipped.
You're a
for
Jeep
all-
guy. He's a Jeep guy.
Yeah, well, those
Oh,
are, those
you're
are
a Jeep
th-
guy.
that's a Wrightwood car, right?
Yeah, that's why
Or
my husband
Jeep.
wants one. He
Is
wants
it?
a Rubicon.
Not
They
Okay,
accept
truck-
the Chevy
what?
Traverse.
Or a Subaru.
Okay, go
Yes,
ahead.
Michael.
We have 3 performances.
Okay.
If you buy all 3, you get a $5 discount on each one.
Get
All
out of here.
right.
So 3 for 60, huh?
Yep, 3 for 60.
And they're all going to be really fun shows.
Yes. Yes, they will.
Yeah, they're going to be very fun. And well, all 3, we've got great musicians lined up at the first show. I think you did an interview with Bodie Mountain Express with Chuck Stewart and Fred Stewart. And, Okay, so we got Fred on pedal steel, Chuck who toured with Elvis on stand-up.
Awesome. Stand-up bass.
Stand-up bass, yeah, stand-up bass. And Chucky, who is with Chuck all the time. It's Chuck, and their drummer was Chuck. So it's the Chuck wagon is what they call it.
Okay, awesome.
But anyway, we don't have the drummer. We have a different drummer this time. But we've got a great band, and then Greg Jones on piano. We're going to have a great
So,
show.
how's the scene been going on up in Wrightwood?
Cold.
Cold?
we got snow.
Yeah, they still do some events during the winter, right? I mean,
A few.
A few.
He just did he did a Christmas
it's
show.
it,
Yeah,
it
we do
become,
our
it's more for
First
spring.
Friday of every month, we still do our open mic. The Right with Blues Society produces
They
that.
have a
we
festival.
have a folk night too.
Is there a festival that comes up? I know that's a big,
Late spring. I
And
don't
late
know.
spring.
so-
Okay.
Well, we did one art festival, first one ever, and it was pretty successful, and that was last year. They're going to do another one this year. We weren't sure.
Because if you haven't been up to Wrightwood team, oh man, you need to go. It's a very beautiful little village type atmosphere.
And
Is
we
it
have a
in the gym?
great,
Yeah.
we have a great little. I'm sorry, we have a great little museum that Robert gave a wonderful, presentation at.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the Arrowhead Peak right there. Yeah, man, I was at the Historical Society there and Big Bear around here. I need
You
to do
that
Mentone.
again. You should do that again.
I probably should get in contact with them again.
You should
man.
do that tour again. That's,
I need to rewrite
I
my
didn't-
book.
that's
That's
before
what.
my-
Maybe this is getting me in the.
Yes.
You know, because I want
Do
to
it.
combine my two books, The Legend of the Arrowhead and The Native Vanguard, into one book.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could,
Do
and it
it.
would be a lot easier. Yeah, like, what's your book again?
Losing
Weight. And
W-A-I-T.
he told me, he said,
Oh, I love
you need
that.
you need to read my book. So I took his book, and it is by the toilet right now as we speak.
So if you purchase it and you hate it, at least you have some toilet paper.
No.
Wait a
In our
minute.
case, we have a wood burning stove.
Well, there you go. You got some fire starter.
I'm at a part, like I read it in segments, and I'm at a part where it's like basically, he's very positive in how you should look at your daily life, and I think that's important,
Definitely.
And he starts out by exercising, right, every morning. I'm not even to talk about it in front of you, but it's a good way to start your day, right? I mean, seeing the beautiful sky, or getting a good workout and getting that ATP rush afterwards. So, it's a good book,
What's
and
the
I
title?
haven't read it all yet, but I'm working on it.
What's
It's
the title?
called Losing Weight.
WAIT.
W-A-I-T.
Losing Weight.
Yeah.
And
it's
where
all-
can I purchase the
You
copy?
can find it on Amazon.com if you look up my name, Ipyani, I-P-Y-A-N-I, last name Lockert, L-O-C-K-E-R-T. You'll find it on Amazon.com, as well as a few of my poetry books as well. So
Yeah, he's you can friend him on the post.
Okay.
I tagged you, so
Oh, thank
you
you.
use your
I'll be
Facebook,
reaching
right?
out.
Yes.
Yeah. Your
I like
your
to share that
Facebook, I
with
see
some
your
people.
stuff. I see Gail's stuff a lot more than yours. She always posts little funny things here and there and stuff. Like I'm like, I'll share that.
I
Will
try
we
not
be
to
able to
take
find-
myself too seriously.
Yeah.
Will we be able to find the flyer for this wonderful Throwback Thursdays on your page as well?
It is. It's on.
Right with Blues Society. Rightwithblues.org. We'll put it there, but it should be on yours as well. Gail Dowling, Gail and Company.
And they'll you just send them to me, and I'll
We'll send
post
them to
for
you
you as well.
tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
760-574-8231.
Best to send them to me before the shows as well, so I remember to repost it,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is 3 months apart.
And we're
right?
going to comp him a ticket. No,
And
2
you-
tickets.
That's not why
You
I
know
said
what?
that. I had a brain fart and
No, he had-
remembered out
he
that
had-
he was there. That's like, oh,
He
that's
has
how
a
I met
lady
him.
friend that
That's
comes to
that's what I was gonna say.
He
Instead
gets
of
2
copying it for
tickets.
me, I would love for it to go to Robert and his beautiful lady, so they can have a wonderful.
But we
evening.
want you to buy a
I will-
ticket and
I
come.
will, I will purchase a ticket gladly. I appreciate the music. I love
And
music.
if
in
you
general.
decide to go on that day,
Always
Yanni,
working.
I'll buy your ticket. How about that?
nah, don't worry about
We
it.
got this hat on, dude. We'll make it fair.
Maybe a steak though.
Yeah.
I hear they're
And can we
really
have
good.
candidate Ward come as well? Can we give her?
It's
can
a
we
pig.
comp her a ticket?
She'll come have a piggly wiggly with us, right?
Thank
I
you.
get
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. You don't like piggly wigglies?
So get one.
Oh
Hey, now.
yeah! All right.
good.
Well, everyone, please make sure you fill out your mail-in ballots right now, if you can, and put them in the mail, or you will vote at the polls on March 5th. It's coming up right around the corner. Please do your homework. If you're interested in Rose Ward, please check out her Instagram. Greg Jones and Gail, thank you so much for coming on, Mike.
Thank
you
you.
rock.
Thank you for
Yanni,
having
I
us.
love you. Eric, you're the man.
Thank
And
you,
this is
Eric.
Robert Porter with I Love San Bernardino County. And we are out of here.
Day or night, I'm letting the blues blow.
NBC News on KCAA Loma Linda is sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932.